Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money, and today I'm back here at Miami Grill. Same location I did the last video at. I'm not doing a video here. I just, came here having lunch and I'm actually eating in. I didn't get my food takeout, but funny as it may, I wanted to show you what this location does. This location actually has their food, and then this is interesting. They have their food on an actual like platter. You get it. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it because I'm kind of thirsty here. But you actually get food on a platter. You get it on a tray, but you also get it on a platter. Okay. I'm going to, right, while I'm eating, I'm going to talk to y'all. In this episode, I want to talk about what's going down in the state of Florida. As you know, if you're in the state of Florida, the governor and the Florida Surgeon General wants to remove fluoride from tap water. As y'all all know, I didn't know that this was actually in our tap water. I just thought they filter it, and they put a lot of chemicals, safe chemicals in it, so it is safe to drink. But I didn't know one of them was fluoride. So now they want to get rid of fluoride in the tap water in the state of Florida. And as you know, fluoride is a chemical that most toothpaste companies use in their toothpaste, well, mostly all the toothpaste companies using their toothpaste to help keep teeth from decaying and rotting and stuff like that. So I didn't know they actually used it in water. So now in the state of Florida, the Surgeon General of the state of Florida wants to get rid of the fluoride in our tap water. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, why would you want to do that? And it comes down to where I now see, and in Miami, this was a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. I have to do a research and follow up on it. If you know, let me know. The county commissioners, I'm sorry, not the city of Miami, the county commissioners voted to remove the fluoride from the tap waters. And they have to wait for the mayor, which is Daniela Levine Carver, to either approve or veto the removal of the fluoride in the tap water. But they said earlier in an interview she was all for keeping the fluoride in the tap water. Now, to me, this has its advantages and its bad advantages, because you do realize a lot of these middle class to low class families rely on tap water. Like my mom, she doesn't drink tap water because many years ago, one of our former locations, the water came out brown, and since then she only drinks bottled water. But a lot of these families result on tap water because that's the only source. Like, they can't afford to buy bottles of water. Of course, if you have food stamps and stuff like that, yes, but nobody can buy bottles of water, and with the prices of food going up, it's impossible for a lot of these people to actually afford bottles of waters. Like 6-pack of like a 24-pack of bottled water runs like $6 to $7 a case. And I look at that, it's ridiculous. Excuse me, y'all. By the way, I was in travel. Now, what I think of this is a low blow for a lot of the low middle class families, because like myself, I do order and I do buy bottled water because I buy it for my mom and I drink it, but I also drink tap water. Now, it was said that the tap water the fluoride in the tap water help keeps kids' teeth from rotting and decaying and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, why not keep it in there? Now, I would see if it's a cost efficient where it's costing the state money to put it in there. I will understand that. But if it's not costing you money, why remove something that helps people keep their teeth healthy? You know, a lot of these people can't afford dental care and health care, and a lot of these don't have insurance that, and if they have insurance, they don't have insurance that covers dental care. So a lot of these people have to rely on toothpaste, mouthwash, things that you buy at the store to help keep their teeth clean. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% healthy and clean with my teeth and everything of mine. Yes, I have health insurance, but I'm not saying 100% that, I don't know if my health insurance covers dental. I mean, now I know how to look into it, but even so, nobody's 100% healthy from the teeth to the bones, the body, whatever. So a lot of these people can't afford dental care, so. And who's to say that these bottles of water have fluoride in it? A lot of these bottles of water from, Separate Hills, Aquafina, and a lot of these bottled water, do you think they have fluoride in the water? Yeah, they probably have chemicals where, because it comes from natural spring, and of course they put stuff in the water, but do they have fluoride? Now, so yeah, but this guy was good. Now, honestly, I disagree with removing it because you're taking away something that helps kids. Like, okay, say for instance, because they were showing it on the TV, how a lot of the kids that go to these parks, they drink water from out of the water fountain at the park. So, and the park to get their water, of course, that's basically filtered water. And some of the parks, they water fountains have room temperature water, where it's coming from the ground, where it's room temperature or warm water. Some of them has those filtration systems that make the water cold. Even though those water does have fluoride in it. So now you're removing the fluoride from the children's waters. Now their teeth is going to start rotting and doing stuff. Granted, kids brush their teeth every day. Plenty of kids, but they don't do like how we do. Me, I don't brush 2 and 3 times a day. I may brush 1 time a day, and I use, mouthwash and stuff like that. And, like today, I've been out all day. I brushed my teeth this morning. I used mouthwash today. I highly doubt I'm gonna go home and actually brush my teeth again, because they say you're supposed to brush after every meal, but not everybody brush after every meal. Most people, they brush 1 time a day and that's it. Especially if you're going to work and you're working all day, and then by the time you come home, you be so tired you don't even want to brush your teeth. You just want to lay down and go to sleep. So a lot of these people don't brush 3 and 4 times a day. So the water in the fluoride in the water helps keep these people's teeth clean, or keep them from rotting and decaying. And the fact that you want to take away, now several counties and several cities, I think, have approved to remove it. Now I don't know if Miami-Dade have approved of it yet, because I know the last I checked up on it, they was waiting on the mayor to actually approve or veto it. But at the same time, and that's when I was supposed to air the story, but I've been too busy and I did other stories to where I didn't really get to it. And I say, I'm going to sit here, have me some lunch at Miami Grill, and I'm going to talk about it, And I say, yes, this is what I want to talk about, because I want to know how y'all feel about this, And if you live in the state of Florida, let me know what city you live in, what county you live in. Is they already talking about it? Because I know with the Florida Surgeon General, he wants mostly the whole state of Florida. They haven't put it into law. They put it into where they leaving it up to the commissioners and the mayors and the cities to actually vote on this, because it's not effective in law, but they want it. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm not supposed to talk with food in my mouth, but it's delicious. But obviously, they want to get rid of fluoride in these in okay, I'm back. Apparently they want to get rid of fluoride in the water, and to me I feel like for the low income middle class families that rely on tap water as their filtration, as their drinking source, because even though a lot of us can afford water, you have dollar bottles of water that are out there, but that's dollar bottles. I when I order a 6 pack of not a 6 pack. I don't know why I keep saying a 6 pack, y'all. When I be ordering these 24 packs and these 48 packs of water, whatever the case may be, how many packs, how many bottles it come in, it's like $6-7. It runs up to almost $6 a case, and that's just for a 24 pack. Years ago, 24 pack used to be like $2.99, $3.99. Now it's $6-7 just for a 24 pack, and I'm like, yeah. And I only do it because my mom, she doesn't drink tap water and stuff like that. I drink the bottled waters as well too. I have one right here with me, which is Zephyr Hills. But at the same time, I look at it as if, why are y'all doing this to these people, to where a lot of these people, all they drink is water. So if all they drink is tap water. You put tap water in a cup, you put it in the refrigerator, or you fill a bottle up, because I have that at home. I have like a bottle or two that's filled up with tap water. I put it in the refrigerator. I keep it cool, so when I'm at home, I drink tap water. Every now and then I do drink a bottle of water. I'm at home, but when I'm out, I drink bottles of water when I'm out, of course. But we all don't have that luxury. Sometimes I do bring a bottle of water from the house while I'm out. If I'm going somewhere where there's no water, like if I'm going to do a video in a park or something, if I'm going somewhere where water is, there isn't a water fountain or something like that, because I've been to several parks and I've been to several locations where either the water was not good, or there was no water fountains, or the water fountains are there but the water is hot, so I bring my own source of water, or I go to a corner store and I buy water. But to us, we don't all have that luxury of buying water. There are people out there that are living in poverty that can't afford to feed their kids for their next meal, let alone figure out if they're gonna need to buy bottled water now to keep their kids healthy. Because now tap water is going to be, fluoride is going to be moved in tap water. Of course, we're still going to have toothpaste, and toothpaste is still going to be available to everybody, but the cost of toothpaste is going up. A dollar tube of toothpaste is no bigger than my hand sanitizer right here. And that is going to last you less than a week, depending on how you brush. If you brush once a day, it'll probably last you a week or two. But a big tube of toothpaste is gonna cost you like $5-6, and I'm like, whoa. And even the ones that got all the special chemicals, like the fluoride and the anti, cavity protection and all the other stuff that they have in it. Just like the other day, I went on Amazon and I bought a Listerine, and they had one for $6 and some change, and I'm like, whoa, that's too much. Even though then they had one for $3 and some change. I said, okay, I'm gonna buy the one that's $3 and some change. Granted, the one that was $2 and change, now the picture looks like a decent size, but when you get it, it looks like the same size as my hand sanitizer. And I was like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still use it, but I'm gonna have to go in the store and buy the actual size, But there are a lot of things like it's costing people a lot of money to actually sit up here and buy these toothpastes and toothbrushes, now you got to try to buy fluoride and all this other stuff with these toothpastes because now, if they remove water in the fluoride in your city, a lot of this stuff, these kids are drinking water that's not going to help them with their teeth, and it's going to make their teeth rotten and decay and all that stuff because, a lot of this tap water, and I'm sad to say, most of this tap water is reusable water. It's water that gets reused. It gets filtrated in the filtration system, and it comes back out crystal clear where it's clear enough to drink, And you gotta have chemicals in it so it won't make nobody sick. Even though taking fluoride out of it is not gonna make, a person sick without fluoride in it, but it will, it's not gonna help manage to keep your teeth clean, or from decaying or, rotting and stuff like that. Now you really gonna have to buy the mouthwashes and, the fluoride toothpastes and all of that stuff that you have to buy just to maintain it. Yes, I have toothpaste, I have mouthwash, I have, oil gel and a lot of the other stuff that helps with your teeth, if you have, problems with your teeth and stuff like that. But at the same time, nobody wants to buy extra stuff because you want to remove fluoride. And when we drink the water becomes bad for us. And I'm like, yeah, that's not nothing I want. I want good, clean tasting water, that it's not going to damage my teeth. That's not going to hurt me. That's just like eating foods that won't hurt your stomach, or eating, drinking something that won't damage, like chip your tooth, or eating a hard candy that won't crack your tooth, something like that. You don't want to do that. So it comes down to, how is it that we can allow this to happen, where we can allow the government to actually dictate what we put in our systems? We have the right to, and that should have been a vote for everybody. That shouldn't have been a commissioner vote or a county vote or a city vote. That should have been a voters vote. They should have went to the polls and said, hey, do you think it's okay to remove fluoride from the tap water? And a lot of people probably would have said no. They would have vetoed it. That's not a decision that, our commissioners and government officials and politicians should be deciding. We as humans should decide what should be put in our bodies. When we go to the grocery store, we the ones that buy the ground beef and the chicken and all this other stuff. We decide what goes into our body when it comes down to us eating. Like now, I'm eating a gyro pita, with some fries and a Sprite soda. I was thinking about getting the lemonade, but I said no. I chose to do this because this is what I want to eat. As a human being, you as a politician, you shouldn't have the right to say, oh, you can't eat this or you can't eat that. Now, if there's a recall on certain products that you can't eat, yes, I understand that there's a recall. But as a human being, no government official should have the right to say, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Just like they shouldn't have the right to say, we're not going to put fluoride in the water. That should be something that residents of that city should vote on. It should be something that we as a people should be able to vote on without somebody dictating what goes in and out of our body. We know about water, we know how water is, we use water to clean our dishes, we use water to do our laundry, we use water to wash our bodies, we use water to wash our hands, we use water for everyday life essentials, and also we use water to drink. So we should be the ones that should be voting on what goes in and out of our bodies, and we should be the ones that should be voting on whether or not we need fluoride in our waters or not the government, not the Surgeon General, not none of them, because at the end of the day, half these people will tell you no because it's the only water that most of these people drink. They get a jug, fill it up with water, and they put it in the refrigerator, and they drink off of that water from the tap. because a lot of these people, yeah, most people can't afford bottles of water. It's expensive. And especially if you got 3 or 4 kids, a 24 pack of bottled water with 3 and 4 kids is not going to last you but a week, or less than a week, depending if that's all your kids drink. But for me, it's lasting me a little bit longer because, I have my mom. So for me, it's gonna last long because she drinks it more than I do. But that's all she drinks every day. So it goes quickly. But at the same time, if you have a family of 4 or 5 in your family, it's you, your wife, your kids, or whoever is in your household, your water's gonna go quickly because you're drinking it up. And if you say, oh, we're gonna stop drinking faucet water because they're taking fluoride out of it, it's gonna cost you a lot of money in water, you know? So that's why I say that I disapprove of them taking fluoride out of the water, because a lot of these families rely on tap water for nourishment and for drinking. They can afford, Zephyr Hills or Aquafina or Smart Water or, a lot of these, bottled waters. They can't afford that. So they have no choice. They can't afford this. This right here alone, it costs to be $2.50 in a corner store. And even though it's a nice size, it's $2.50. You see, I haven't drink it all, but a lot of people can't afford that. $2.50 back then, that would have got you probably a half a case of water or a 6-pack of water back then. Now a 6-pack of water costs you about almost $3 or $4. A 24 pack costs you almost $6. So I want to know what y'all take on this. Do y'all think that it's right for the state of Florida to encourage people to remove fluoride, or do you think it's up to the residents of the state of Florida and not the politicians? Because I believe it's not up to the politicians. It's not up to the state of Florida. It's not up to the Surgeon General or the governor. It's up to the residents. And if you're in another city or state and they're doing the same thing, let me know too. Comment at the bottom of this page. Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com, because I want to know this. I want to know, if you're in Florida, rep your city. Let me know what city you're in or what county you're in from Florida. And let me know, have they already took fluoride out of your water, or is they doing it? Because apparently the Florida Surgeon General wants the state of Florida, they want everybody to remove fluoride from their water system. And I believe that it should be the residents in these cities and counties that should be voting, not the commissioners. Because the commissioners, like I say, nobody other than yourself should have a say-so of what goes in and out of your body. If you want to eat healthy, that's your choice of eating healthy. You want to eat like a pig and eat all these fat foods, that's your choice to eat like a pig and eat all these fat foods. You want to eat light on certain days and eat heavy on other days, that's your choice. You want to have cheat days, you want to have certain days you want to only drink juices, you don't want to drink sodas. If you only want to drink water, that's up to you. All of this is your choice. And the choice of you having fluoride in your water should be your choice as well, not the government. Let me know how you feel about this. Comment at the bottom of this page. Also, you can email me at roundtable00@yahoo.com. I thank you for watching this episode. Yeah, this is a short episode because I'm going to get back to eating my gyro and my seasoned fries from Miami Grill. And by the way, this is off of commercial. This is off of Powerline Road and Oakland Park Boulevard here in Fort Lauderdale area. I did a video back here a while back with a food review, but I did a to-go food review. I've never sat down and ate here. But thank you for watching. This is the Roundtable Talk. I'm your host, C Money. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, stay hydrated. Now stay hungry. And I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.